Hello, artists. This follow along is for doing some additional 3D shapes. This is if you've already finished doing the boxes and if you've already finished doing the cylinders and if you've already finished doing the pyramid shape. So for this one, you only need to do one of each. So where the other assignments, you had to do two boxes, two cylinders, two triangles, or two pyramids. This one is going to be, you only need to do one of each. So the first one is going to be a cone shape. Now a cone combines a triangle like a pyramid with a rounded base like a cylinder. So we're going to start off by making triangle shape. So starting at the top of the triangle. Two lines, try to make them pretty much even. And remember, if you want to, you can use a ruler or a folded piece of paper to help you make straight edges if you want. Now, instead of going straight across like for a triangle, we're going to do a rounded shape like a cylinder. But remember, when we did the cylinders, you don't want to make a really big rounded bottom. Stay away from that. You want just a little bit of a line, just a little curve like that. And that's all the part that you have to draw. Now to shade it, it's a little bit different. It is not going to be flat like a flat shape, like a triangle shape. It is going to have shading like a cylinder, which means you're going to have either the middle be light or the middle be dark. We're going to do light on this one. So we're going to do a very light shading. Scoot your pencil. Very light shading. Very light, 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 light. Leave a little bit. And then start with light again. And you should be going up towards your point. You can see that when I shaded this part, it's almost like a little triangle shape. So now we're going to shade this part very lightly. And then as we go toward the edges, we'll start getting a little bit darker. And try to make that as gradual as possible. You want it to look very smooth. Blend it in with a finger or paper towel if you don't want to get too messy. I'm going to erase a little bit just to make sure this part is nice and bright. Clean it up. And there is our cone shape. So the next one that we're going to do is called a triangular prism. Now that's not the same as the pyramid. You're going to start by doing just like with the cone with two lines. But when you do the second one, make that just a tiny bit longer and then connect. So it's like a triangle, but it's kind of tilted a little bit. Then you're going to go from the top point and this low point and draw two lines that are going in the same direction away from the triangle. And you're going to want them to be about the same size. So I'm going to use my scrap paper for a straight line. Start there and go to there. So you can use a ruler to measure, or you can use your paper to do the marks. And then we're just going to go straight down. Boom. Now, hopefully you got that so they kind of line up with each other. Now, when you connect them, that should be on an angle too. It should be the same as this angle. Beautiful. So with a shape like this, because the light usually comes down either from the lights on the ceiling or coming in from a window, or if you're outside, the sun, this part's going to stay light. So we're going to make that big side really light. Hold my pencil all the way down because I want it to be really light. And then this side will be a little bit darker, because this part is facing upwards, facing towards the light. Shade that in nice, shade it in nice, shade it in. And then we blend. Do a little bit more. I can make that a little bit neater. There we go. All right. Now, the next one has a very long name. This is called a hexagonal prism. And a hexagon is a shape that has 6 sides. So if you were just looking at a hexagon, don't have to draw this. This is a hexagon. It's got 6 different sides. It might look a little familiar. It might look like this. Make sense? But what we're going to do is take this shape and we're going to make it 3D. It's going to be very similar to how we did this triangle. So we drew almost a triangle shape and then we added some lines going away from that shape. So for the hexagonal prism, we're going to start with kind of a squished hexagon. So start with one line at the top, leave a little space, and a line right below it. So they should match each other like an equal sign in math. Then you're going to do a little triangle on each end. Just like that. Now for the next step, I'll get my straight edge again so I can kind of measure it. I'm going to go from this corner. Actually, let's start here so you can see it better. I'm going to go from this corner. I'm going to do a straight line down, starting here, ending there. Now I'm going to scoot it to the next corner. Don't worry about the top corner, just the bottom one. Draw that. Next corner. Scoot. Final corner. Scoot. Now I'm going to connect all these bottom lines. 2 on an angle and 1 straight across. And that's how you make a hexagonal prism. For shading, we're going to go just leave the top alone, leave that white. One side, very light. The next side, front side, a little bit darker. And then on the final side, you're going to go as dark as you can go. Don't break your pencil though. Yes, sir. Let's blend it in. Fantastic. Hexagonal prism. Now the last one I'm going to show you is going to sound like it's complicated. It's going to seem a little complicated, but I'm going to show you how to do it really easily. This is called an octahedron. That means that it is going to have 8 sides. It's going to be kind of like a pyramid with a pyramid underneath. So here's how you do it. I'm going to start off with a line going at just a little bit of an angle. Like that. Okay? Then we're going to do a triangle from the top. A little bit shorter. Also a little bit shorter. This should be your longest line. Then you're going to connect them. And it's going to look kind of like a pyramid. Then what you got to do, from the top point, you're going to imagine a line that goes straight down. If it helps, you can really, really lightly draw a line and pick a spot that is right underneath. Like you're going straight down from here. So not this corner, but the middle, straight down. I'm going to get rid of that. So I just have my dot. Then I'm going to connect the dot to each of these bottom corners. 1, 2, 3. Now I'll leave this side white. I'm going to shade this side kind of light shading. Kind of like we did on the pyramid. This side, since it's underneath, it's going to be a little bit darker. And this side will be the darkest. And there you go. So we've got our cone, our triangular, not a Z, prism, hexagonal prism, and our octahedron. Ba-bam. Now, once you've learned these shapes as well as the box and the cylinder, this is going to let you be able to draw almost any other kind of shape. Even shapes that might have weird angles on them, they're really all just made up of all the shapes we've just learned. They're cylinders on top of a cone shape, on top of another cylinder, and lots of other ways. So you can find all these ways to combine these shapes and do fun things with them. You can even take the idea of an octahedron, but also use what you learned on a cone to make a, I don't know what you would call it. But you can shade it just like a cone. Just a fast way. And create a new shape. You can take a cube shape and instead of putting a normal top on it, you can turn it into a triangular prism. Now you have a house. Ta-da! So just by learning some of these shapes, you can start using them to create all sorts of different drawings. This is like the most basic beginning thing that you should be learning as an artist, is learning how to be able to take shapes like this and turn them into other things. Learning how to make things look 3D is going to help you with any kind of other art that you might want to do. So just keep that in mind. And remember, if you need any help with how to do these, you can always rewind the video and watch it again. Or if you're still getting stuck, make sure to talk to me on Classroom and I will be able to help you and figure that out. Okay? Thank you so much. See you in the next video.